Okay, you four behave, okay? Don't try to bust through that cage. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike with Fowler Family Farm. We're gonna come out here and visit the goats and do a little goat talk. So I sold the 4 bucklings I had. I took them to the goat sale in Chickasha, Oklahoma, which is typically what I like to do unless I sell them to an individual. It's really windy, so Oklahoma weather, it's always windy out here. So right now I have all the goats in one pen. Hi girls. Hey Chip. So yeah, I cannot keep him out right now. I've got to do a better job. I'm pretty sure they're all bred because old Chip right here, he's not really interested in any of them. And if Megatron over here, hey Chip, you're hogging the air, you're hogging the video. So if Megatron over here gets interested in a girl, Chip runs him off. And then I have one lone goat that got out. It's right over there. Okay, so we're gonna feed these goats real quick. My feeder's right over here by the hay and it's flipped upside down. So I'm gonna go in there and flip it and move it over here where I'm out of the wind a little bit. And then we'll feed them and we'll do some talking. Okay, so I'm by myself. I'm gonna have to carry the feed over there and try to video. I usually get knocked down or pushed over or pushed on. So we'll see how this goes. You guys behave, okay? Yeah, okay. Oh, well, looky there. She decided to join us. Oh, you think you get the feed first, huh? So Samoa's already eaten the feed. That's the one that I said was over there off on her own. She got out and came back over here because she saw me feeding them. Okay, Samoa, we're gonna go, okay? We gotta go, girl. Everybody gets to eat, not just you. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on, way out here. Way out here, come on. Oh, jeez. All right, we got them all ate. Okay, back up. I gotta get me a feeder that's through the fence. Oh, Chip, get out. Oh my gosh, I think that's the worst it's been. Chip is mad at Mega. Goodness gracious. Crazy goats. He just doesn't let you eat, does he, Mega? Okay, so yes, I did sell the 4 bucklings. I had 6 bucklings to start with at the beginning of the kidding season. 1 buckling didn't make it. When I weaned him, his sister, and off of their mom, him and his sister both kind of took a dip for the worse, and so did the mom. The 2 girls made it. The mom and the sister made it, but the boy, he just didn't make it. I did everything I could to keep him alive. It just didn't work. So that left me with 5. I tried to sell Cowboy to another YouTube channel or just to another individual because I really think he's going to be a great replacement type buck for a commercial herd. I was able to sell Cowboy to Aoki Homestead. So if you don't follow her, go over and check her out. She's got our buck. He's a great looking buck. So that leaves me with just these mamas now and then my 8 doelings over there. So I tried to sell the other 4 bucklings through Marketplace and we got no traction on Marketplace. It's almost like Facebook has just stopped pushing that stuff, pushing that, you know, any kind of animal that's for food or for, you know, just anything like a cow or a goats. I just had absolutely 0 luck on our cows or our goats this season. But in the past, I have sold through Marketplace. This year was just horrible. Not even an interest. So we opted to go the route of the goat and sheep sale over in Chickasha, Oklahoma, which is, I've done that 2 other times and I've been very pleased with it. The first time I went over there, I took Is that right? The first time I went over there, I took 5 actually, and I made right at $900. So I was really happy with that. That's an average of, I don't know, probably 180, somewhere in there per goat, and I'm okay with that. When the goats are 4 months old and they're, you know, they don't weigh much. Those goats back then were probably, the heaviest one was probably 45 pounds. I'll list that video right here. I actually did a video on that. It's one of my best videos I've got out there. It's how to make money raising goats, or how to make money selling goats. 2 to 3 months after that, I took 4 more goats to that same sale in Chickasha, and I averaged about $150 a goat, which was still good. I was still happy. That's still a pretty decent price for just a commercial herd of goats. You know, and all you do is wean them from their mama and take them to the sale. That's not bad at all. I didn't have any money in those goats, really. So this time around, like I said, I tried to sell through Marketplace, word of mouth. Nobody was interested this year. And then the sale itself in Chickasha was closed for like 3 months. I'm not exactly sure why. I have my thoughts, are probably because we were just in a really bad drought this year. So a lot of places were limited on how much water they could use. I did shoot some video the day I took them to the sale, so let me show you that, and then we'll come right back to how much I got off of these goats. Okay, so it's Saturday morning at about 6:20. I think it's 6:20. We just put together this cage right here. It's a large dog cage. Put it in the back, strapped it in. We're gonna load the 4 small bucklings up, put them in the cage, and take them to the sale. Yep, that's what we're doing. And it's bright and early. Actually, it's not bright. It's dark and early. All right, let's do this. Oh, is that him? Okay. Just put him up and close that, and then I'll get one, and you hold it, and then I'll get one. Trapped now, though.
Huh?
So he's got himself trapped now. That went fairly easy. I'm a little out of breath. So what we did was last night, to make this easier on us this morning, was I fed the goats in here. I didn't video any of that, but I fed the goats. I put the 4 bucklings in this front part and put a cattle panel up, so that it contained them in this, right here on this lean-to. That's it. They couldn't go anywhere else overnight. So that this morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, we could come out here, wouldn't have to chase them all over the buck pen. We could just contain them. They were contained right here, really easy to get them. By the way, I have my son Brendan out here helping me. What do you think? 6 o'clock in the morning?
Nothing new.
Nothing new? You're used to it in the military?
Yeah.
Okay. You 4 behave, okay? Don't try to bust through that cage. Okay, we made it to Chickasha, which is where the meat sale is, the goat sale. This is the worst I've seen it, because this place has been closed down for about 3 months. And let me show you. Well, actually, I'm gonna turn you around here too. This is the actual front of the line right here. And it's about...
They won't even be able to see.
Yeah, probably not. Let me turn you around. Yeah, it goes all the way to the highway, and I would say that's 3/4 of a mile to the highway. There's a trooper there. And then we were actually on the shoulder of the highway, probably another 1/4 mile down the road, and he made everybody get off the shoulder of the highway and turn around and then go back this direction. So we're all parked over here now for probably another mile. So once that last vehicle goes through, that's way down there, we'll get to go through. This sale has been closed for 3 months due to lack of rain, I think, is one of the main reasons. I don't think the county allowed them to open because there was such a water shortage kind of thing, and when you process a lot of animals, you need a lot of water. I'm assuming that's the reason. I don't have proof of that, but that's the only thing I could come up with, because I've never seen them closed down for 3 months for no reason. And we were going through a severe drought back then, so I think that's why. But things are back open. Everybody out here is talking to each other. They're all happy that this place is open again. And the owner, he assured us that everybody would go through today. So that's pretty cool. We got here at 7:20 and we were at the back of the line, and there's another half mile of people behind me now. And I thought I would be like one of the earliest ones here. So this guy in the red truck said he got here at 2 in the morning. And then some of the other people behind him got here at like 5 in the morning. I guess they knew that it was going to be crowded today. They actually did open early for us, so that's good. And since they moved us all over here, they started the line again back behind us. So there's 12 more people that are going to go through, and then we'll start using this side over here, and then they're going to let 20 of us go through and then start alternating, because they've got way more people here than they expected. And when the troopers made us get off the highway earlier, they didn't realize there was just going to be a constant stream of people. So now there's people on the highway again taking the spots that we were originally had. But the owner came out and told us that we were going to get to come through before those guys were, so that's good. There's a big line this way, probably half a mile long that way. And then this line here is still over a mile long. They just keep piling in. It's crazy. So 12 more, and then I'm number 9 on this line. And that's going to be about another hour wait for me. So it's already past 10. It's about 10:30. Okay, they're almost done eating. It's been a good 5 minutes. And he's still got Megatron over there. Megatron will try to come over here, and he's like, stay back. Chip, you don't have to be so mean. So if you guys are new to the channel, Chip is our main buck, and he's not related to any of these mamas. And then Megatron's my up-and-coming buck, and he's not related to any of the mamas as well. So really, it's okay if either one of them get these mamas pregnant for this year, because all my offspring this year, I'm not keeping any. I'm going to sell them all this time around. That way I can generate some money and make some of my money back that I've been spending on these goats. Plus, I still have the 8 doelings that are in the doeling pen over there. They are related to Chip and Megatron. So next year when they're ready to breed, they're 8 months old right now, you know, so I really don't want to breed them. I really want to wait until they're about 15, 16 months old, which will be perfect for next breeding season next year. So I'll have to make sure I keep which one was, like, if I'll have to make sure that the offspring of Chip I bred with Megatron this next coming season, and then vice versa. So he's all about it though. He's the boss over here. Chip, be nice, buddy. He's just being mean right now. Like I said in the video, they were closed. I think it was around 3 months. And everybody there was excited that they were reopening. They get a chance to go sell their goats. I talked to several people that were in the same boat as me. They had a hard time selling these goats. There were a couple that said that they took half of their goats a month ago down in Texas somewhere to sell. I'm not exactly sure where. So that is an option for me as well. It's just further away, more gas, whatever. So I'll have to look into that for next year if this happens again. So one way you can kind of judge how this sale is going to go is you can compare it to the Hamilton sale. I'll put a post right here up and show you the prices for the prior week, the week before I sold mine. This was the prices of the goats at this sale. So looking at that, I was happy. I thought, you know what, I'm probably going to get $3 to $3.25, $3.30, somewhere in there. And I'm perfectly happy with that weight and that price. I'll average that 180-ish range. But it didn't work out that way. I got a price for $2.80 for, I think it was, I'll have to look on my sheet. I'll go get my sheet before we end this video and I'll show you guys. But for 2 of my goats, I got $2.80 per pound. And the other 2 goats, I got $2.70 a pound. That's probably the worst I've got at that sale before. I don't think I've ever gotten that low. I was really thinking I'd get above $3. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not disappointed per se, because you can go to some of these other sales, these local sales in these small towns, you're not going to get near that. So that's still a better price than you would get at a local auction. but it's not what I really thought I would get this time around. So I don't know, are these meat sales really worth saving your goats up and taking them all to one sale? You kind of take your chances, because one week you may get $3.80 per pound. The very next week you may get $2.50 a pound. It's a hit and miss game. So I did my research. I looked back on all the dates, previous dates of that Hamilton sale, and the best month to sell your goats for sure, according to this previous year, this past year, late March, all of April, early May. And that's exactly why I went with the breeding season this year, early breeding, to where hopefully all of our babies are born throughout December. That's what I want. I want our babies born in December, so they're ready to wean late April, and I can take them straight to that sale and get the best price I can for them. That's the key in getting the most money out of your goats. Take them when you're gonna get the best price per pound. Y'all are done, just like that. Megatron, you didn't get any, did you, buddy? He's just a butt, isn't he? They all look really good. I've been checking eyes too periodically. All their eyes look good, nice and pink, dark pink, no whites. Which, believe it or not, this is our best season for worms. We have not had hardly any problems with worms this year. And that's simply because we haven't had the water. We haven't had the rain. The moist ground and the moisture and just being wet all the time is really what sets in these worms. So the worm load on these goats will shoot up when it's constantly wet. And we've been constantly dry this year, so the worm load's been very low where they need it, and they're all really, really healthy. So we've been blessed in that area. Very low maintenance this year with the goats. Hardly no work at all. Okay, I had to get out of that wind. That was ridiculous. So we'll finish this up in the over here off the porch where it's not so windy. You may still hear it, but I'm not feeling it at least. So this was October 1st is when I went to this sale, Chickasha goat and sheep sale. So it says I have two kids that weighed 118 pounds together, and they got $2.80 a pound for a total of $330.40. And then I got two kids that weighed 90 pounds, and I got a total of $2.70 per pound. That comes out to $243 even. So my total price was $573.40 for 4 goats. I want that to be around the 700 range, really. So for me to be happy and to go to this sale every single time, I would really like to average more than that. But if you get this kind of price every once in a while and the other prices are decent and good and you're happy with them, this is probably okay. But I kid you not, if I took these 4 goats to a local auction at some town, like there's a town close to me here, if I took my 4 goats there, my 4 bucklings, they literally would bring $200, like 50 bucks a piece, and that's it. So I would not do that. I would rather drive 20 extra minutes and 2.5 times my money. Now, I'd still rather sell it to an individual for $200 a goat for certain goats, or up to $400 a goat for certain goats. I really knew that Cowboy was a good-looking goat. I probably wasn't gonna take him to this sale anyway. I would have kept him and just waited until I could have sold him to someone, because he's the kind of goat that you really want to use for your sire if you have a commercial. Jenny's out. Okay, you got him. Good job. Okay, she's going way down there to the other side of the fence, so you probably still can't hear her. But so I knew Cowboy would be one that I wanted to keep. And I would have sold him to someone down the road, probably even for more than I did get him. You know, the older he gets, the better he's going to look. So I did end up selling him to another channel like I mentioned earlier in the video. So let me show you this. Let me see if I can get this to... Oh, I think that's zoomed in right there. That's pretty clear. And I'll bring it up. You can see the total price. So, like I was saying, I'm not completely disappointed in that price, but it's not what I was expecting. I was really expecting about $120 more, which would have given me right at that $700 price that I was wanting. But I'll take this. This is fine. So the other day I did find out that the Chickasha goat and sheep sale is going to start limiting people to 20 goats or more. So if you have below 20 goats, they're probably not going to accept you. And I heard they're probably done with the big long lines and they're going to start doing it by appointment only. So this Saturday, you have these 50 people coming in and you have a time slot that you're supposed to be there. That's how I'm kind of thinking it's going to happen. So I'm only going to be bringing in less than 10 goats right now. My goat herd's not that big. So I may have to find another place to go or team up with someone that's got goats that are about the quality of mine. That way we have 20 goats and we just split the price right down the middle. So I think he's tired of dealing with the people who bring in 1 to 10 goats, really. I think that's what it is. Because that makes up a big portion of his lines and some of his big clients don't like it. So these clients that bring in 200 goats to sell, they don't like waiting 4 hours to sell their goats when the 10 people in front of them have 1 goat apiece. So I think it just irritates people. So he is going to limit it to 20 goats or more. That's what I've heard. I haven't confirmed that, but I probably just need to go look on the website. Is it worth it selling these goats at the goat and sheep sale? Most of the time it is. It really is. It's worth it. There's no headache involved in it. You wean the goats. 2 or 3 weeks later, you take them to the sale. You have no money in those goats. You earned all that money you got from the sale. Otherwise, you sell them to individuals and you have to hassle with Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or any of those other websites, however you want to sell your goats. And then you may not even sell them for 2 or 3 months, so you're going to have to start feeding them. That's what I don't want to do. Or you switch over to having registered goats and you sell you make the bulk of your money through your registered goats. That's another option. I want to get there someday, just not right now. It's expensive. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Remember, do the good.
At the Fowler family farm. Come along and ride with us through this life's journey we go through. At the Fowler